Hi, I'm Adam Tarr, Associate Broker with Citywide Real Estate in Phoenix, Arizona. And today I wanted to discuss some of the ways to take title to real estate property in Arizona. The reason I wanted to cover this is last week I received an email from somebody up in Canada with some questions on what the tax benefits might be on the ways to take title. They were specifically asking about community property with right of survivorship. So first off, I need to mention that what I'm going to explain are the ways to take title and some of the benefits and the requirements. But I'm not making any particular recommendations simply because everybody's situation is different. It is always best to talk to an accountant or attorney to determine what is best for your particular situation. These folks were trying to find out what made sense. Now, another factor that comes into play is how are you going to utilize the property? If it's a primary residence versus an investment property that will always be rented out, you might want to consider a different method. So there are four main ways to take title when there's more than one person involved. It's community property with right of survivorship, and those are the two I'm going to discuss today. Joint tenants with right of survivorship, and tenants in common. Sorry. So there are many similarities between the community property and community property with right of survivorship, so I'm going to cover some of those first. First of all, it requires a valid marriage between two people. Plain and simple. If you're not married, you can't do community property with or without right of survivorship. Each spouse holds an undivided 1/2 interest in the estate. Pretty straightforward. One spouse cannot partition the property by selling his or her interest. Okay, so there's an undivided interest, half interest, and you can't sell it. The other spouse has to agree, which leads me to the next thing. Signatures are required from both spouses to convey or sell or encumber, which means basically taking a loan, the property. Okay, so signatures are required by both. Under regular community property, each spouse can devise or will 1/2 of their community property. So it could go to a family member or even a friend. When somebody passes, that share can go to, let's say, as an example, a son. So one parent and the son would then own the property. With community property and with right of survivorship, the half of the estate of the decedent passes to the surviving spouse upon death and does not have to go through probate. Upon death, the estate of the decedent must be cleared through probate or adjudication if it's straight community property. And again, if it's with right of survivorship, no court action is required to clear the title upon that first death. One more item, it's a great benefit when it comes to taxes, is that both halves of the community property are entitled to a stepped up tax basis upon the date of death. So as an example, when the property is purchased, it's purchased for $100,000. 10 years later, let's say it's worth $200,000 and one of the spouses passes away. So at the time of purchase, each spouse technically has a $50,000 share, but at the time of that first spouse passing, there's technically a $100,000 share. Well, when that passes to the surviving spouse, from a tax basis, they get it at $100,000, not at $50,000. So when they go to sell it, they won't have to pay taxes on that additional $50,000, and that's a great benefit. So those are some of the basics when it comes to community property and community property with right of survivorship. I hope that that's a help. Again, if you want to determine what's best for you, I advise that you speak to an attorney or an accountant for your particular situation. If you have any other questions, though, please feel free to give me a call. I can explain what the options are. Again, my name is Adam Tarr, your first name in real estate for Scottsdale and Phoenix. You can reach me at 480-236-7374 or by email at adam@weareazrealestate.com. Thanks for watching, and make it a great day.